get up. Let's do some nitric oxide things. Not the same we did with Ben, but just simply hop up and hands up. You don't need too much space. Just get that nitric oxide flowing. Yeah. And 10 seconds, a little faster. All right, you can sit down. So, now you have more oxygen. Now your brain is a little bit more refreshed, and probably you will understand more and perhaps remember more. So today's topic is health benefits of nature and forest bathing. Not Forrest Gump, forest bathing. Anybody heard of forest bathing? Some? Good, good. So it's a bit new thing. Oops, it's pretty fast. So I don't go too detailed into this, since that Jaro's presentation was just amazing. I was blown away by it. Hopefully you guys too. But why I'm showing you this is that I'm a little bit out of breath. We are nature. You are nature, I am nature. We consist of the basic atoms, molecules, cells, microbes, fungi, and so on. So that's why it is so important to be in the nature, to be part of the nature. And as we think backwards, 99.99% of the all time, we've been living in the nature. Only 0.01% we've been living in the urban environment. So, for example, if you look at this place, this is pretty far away from natural environment. So that's why some of you may be feeling tired. That's why we have outside. You can go and breathe fresh air, go to cold baths, warm baths, sauna, get refreshed, and then back into this unnatural environment. Has anybody eaten dirt? A few. Probably when you were a kid, right? What is, mommy, what is this? Take it away, it's stone. But we are consisting of dirt also. Dirt is a living organism. We are inhaling dirt. We are actually also eating it, even without knowing it. So the importance of soil and what's the condition of soil, that has a good determination for our health. How is the soil on the vegetables and plants we are eating? But that's familiar with the Jaro's presentation. There are a few studies over there. Is there a pointer? Laser pointer? Okay, so here, just what does it do to our health to inhale dirt or eat dirt? There have been actually found some certain bacteria, like Mycobacterium vaccae. It decreases anxiety-related feelings and also stress. Pretty interesting. So what I would recommend, you go to barefoot, walk in the dirt, walk on the ground. You don't have to eat it, but you are gonna inhale it anyhow. So that's good for health. I wouldn't recommend that you just take dirt and eat with a spoon. That would probably give you some gastrointestinal problems. It's pretty fast. Nah. Shinrin-yoku, that's Japanese. It means a visit to the forest for relaxation and to improve one's health. Or take the forest in with all of your senses. That's more of like I think a better description for it. There's this very large Japanese study, or rather a review, consisted of 52 different studies and investigated about the health effects of forest bathing. So if you think about Japan or, for example, Tokyo, is there anybody from Japan? Nobody? Arigato? Okay, well, for example, Tokyo, it's packed of people. It's packed of unnatural environment. That's why like the suicide rates, overworking, burnouts are so common in Japan. They're in Finland, but we have a lot of forests, a lot of lakes. It takes like 100 or 200 meters to get outside in nature, nearly everywhere. So the meaning of forests, that's vital. It's crucial to us. For example, just 10 minutes in the forests, your blood pressure begins to drop. Pulse rate is dropping. Spend a little longer there, you feel your mood is beginning to rise. Anybody felt that? Just 20 minutes in the forest and you feel better. You don't necessarily know how to explain it, but you just feel better. Spend 1 hour in the forest, your attention and cognition is better. For example, I live in the near countryside. I have a forest just outside of our front door. I go there and just breathing the forest. That's the best stress management for me. Spend there 2 hours and you see dramatic changes for positive in your immune system. Spend 2 days, you're totally renewed. Anybody going to the offsite, upgraded offsite? Few one? Expect that. If you want to live longer, go to the forest, go to nature. If you want to feel better, go to the forest, go to the nature. Especially if you're middle-aged or older. But this goes true for also younger people, for everybody. There's been a few researches done on the morbidity, which means how likely you will get ill. That goes down. Different illnesses, it goes down when you live close contact to nature. How many of you would describe yourself as a nature person? That's a lot, yeah. For example, there was a study in Finland on Finnish people. Only 5% consider themselves as being urban, like totally urban. 95% are more or less nature people. So, the easiest way to lower your blood pressure is to go to nature. In this study, they show that it decreases the systolic, the higher blood pressure, around 6 to 7 Hg millimeters, and the diastolic blood pressure around 4 to 5 Hg millimeters. So that's a lot. Usually that's like the effect of one medication on a normal dose. So think about that. What? Easier. This could be a view from any summer cottage in Finland. This is like the basic view. That's why Finnish people go to the summer cottage. Nearly everybody has a summer cottage. Who has a summer cottage? Or Finnish people? Probably everyone here from Finland. So that's what we do. We overstress at work and then we go to recover at the summer cottage. And this is the basic view. Only by just watching this makes you feel calmer, makes you feel better, right? Right? Yes. Yeah. It enhances cognitive performance. But if you're not in the nature and you're just sitting here, you might read that, okay, it's performance, but actually I've written here performance. But you wouldn't necessarily know it. if you're just watching the screen and the brain interprets that, okay, it's performance. So get into nature, breathe, increase your ability to write, do work, whatever. Want to be happier? Go to nature. Here's my daughter and identical twins of my friends, girls. This is actually from my house, from my yard. As you can see, the environment, it's very rich. It's not like sharp and digital, it's living. I often sit here in this, I don't know what it's in English. Swing, yeah, keinu in Finnish. And I ground myself just being barefoot over there. But there's been a study that the relationship between nature, connectedness, and happiness, large meta-analysis, and it was clearly shown that the more connected people are to nature, the more happier they are. And I can totally relate to that. I used to live 15 years in Töölö, which is a pretty hectic environment to live in the center of Helsinki. And the last 4 years there, I lived on a street where there would go like tons of ambulances, police cars, like buses, cars, taxis, a lot of noise. And then we moved into this area, my wife's childhood home, and the difference was just amazing. I realized I was all the time stressed because of the environment. So think about this. Just by looking and comparing these two images, this is chaotic, this is totally unnatural. And in this study, they actually measured the recovery of autonomic nervous system following acute mental stress by either watching a picture like this or just by watching a picture like this. So people who watched a picture like this, they recovered more quickly. Their attention and cognitive abilities recovered quickly. So just by watching the nature, that's also recovering. Also, listening to the nature sounds lowers saliva cortisol levels, it lowers stress levels. So what I would suggest you to do when you're at work and you feel stressed, put your headphones on and put some nature sounds, natural nature sounds, like birds, waves, forest sounds. That will lower the stress right away. Or you can do, there are these amazing, this is for example a 4K campfire by the river, like totally authentic sounds of the wood burning on the campfire. And you can watch this on YouTube for a while. For example, if you just, okay, now I need a break, you cannot go outside, you cannot go to nature, watch like this for a while. Get your stress down. We are, by the way, talking today, the last presentation about biohacking your stress. So we go deeper into that. How many of you have slept in the nature? Wow. Wow, this is great. What have you noticed? You can just shout out. Better sleep? That's relaxed? Yeah. But it also lowers inflammation. This study was done on Chinese people, and it showed that 2 nights in the nature, it lowers various inflammation markers. Spend like a weekend in nature if you have a lot of inflammation or just stress. You want to see better? Prevent myopia. How many of you can see this text? Few ones, especially in here, but not in the back that good. So you want to see better. You want to prevent myopia. Relax your eyesight, relax your eyes, just watching nature. It is beautiful. no sharp edges, no like unnatural forms and shapes. How many of you know what's grounding? Well, it's obvious. It's in the picture. This is me in the summertime. I'm sitting in the swing. And what does grounding do to you? Lowers stress, lowers inflammation, improves your sleep, improves energy, lowers your pain. For example, today when I woke up, I just went straight away outside, barefoot, and I just stood there in the rain. Around 5 minutes, and I had a little nervousness today because I know I have 2 speeches today, I gotta perform. But then I just stood there and the rain was falling, and in 5 minutes I felt pretty good. Have you tried sleeping grounded? A few of you have. So this is interesting. They're using this grounding mat that's put into the earth and give the grounding effect. What it does, this is before the grounding, 24-hour cortisol secretion profile. As you can see, there's a lot of variation. The diurnal curve is not there. And this is after the grounding. So it normalizes the cortisol secretion, lowers the cortisol amount just by sleeping grounded. You can watch later from the slides the health benefits of grounding, but what it usually, the mechanism is that you get a flow of electrons into your body and they will neutralize free radicals. So that's the theory behind it, and that's how it actually works. Any of you have like delayed onset muscle soreness after training? I'm sure quite a few. Go grounding. Having stress, go grounding. Having sleep problems, go grounding. For example, if I cannot sleep, I go outside barefoot and I just stay there until I feel relaxed. Yes, the question was if you have same effects with the mattress. Yes, this study was done with the mattress, the previous one. So yes. So next, you want to train outside. Every time possible, I go outside, unless I'm like scheduled a gym session. But I move my gym also outside. So over here you can see a sandbag, kettlebell, and a rope. You can do various movements with that. But it has been shown that it's actually more effective and you recover quicker when you train outside. Think about training grounded and outside breathing fresh air. It's also intuitively you feel better, even though if you didn't know the research. That's from my alley. Here's my daughter, she's cheering. It's like, Titi, Titi. That means daddy. Titi. So I'm pulling the sled over there. And I'm lucky to live in an environment that we have this no asphalt, but rather is soil kind of road. This is me on Nukes Park. you can think, what the heck is this? This was actually on Biohacker Center summer relaxation day. So this is filled with gas. This is a hypoxic chamber, but it's filled with the gas, a little bit less oxygen. So you can just roll and move. You're in there and you just go there. 5 minutes in there and you're totally done. So this is cool. So if you have time to go to the Nukes, find this place. All right, so what then? No possibility to go to nature. Well, bring the nature into your workplace. Some companies have purchased the Nava. Here, this is a Finnish product. That's an air cleaning, purifying green wall. Or you just go to a place. If you, for example, do writing or some other things, you don't have to be in an office. Go to a place where you can just see into the nature. This is like typical thing for me to do in our summer place if I write Biohacker's Handbook or Biohacking Stress book. So I'm at the same time lowering my stress, writing about stress. I actually got stressed out while writing about stress. But that was in office environment. And here is also a pretty interesting upgraded workplace with a lot of green stuff, a lot of nature elements. Anybody have plants that are cleaning the air? This is NASA research. A lot of good plants that can clean the air. I would highly recommend this. The better the air quality is, the better you feel, the less likely you feel tired or have any medical issues. So, if possible, move office outside. Well, if you look at the weather now here in Finland, yeah, if you have like a ceiling or something. So this is from my home. I'm writing here the Biohacking Stress book, drinking some good beverages and just watching the nature. And when I feel like it, I just go hopping on the grass. That's great. Okay, if this is not possible, get a momentum dashboard. Anybody use momentum dashboard for Chrome? It's just amazing. You get these beautiful nature wallpapers, and when every time you open the Chrome, there's this beautiful picture, and just by watching it, you feel better. It lowers stress, and you can put here what you want to do, to-do list. You can see in the temperature and whatever. So let's talk about a little bit of sunlight. The topic wasn't about sunlight. Damn. So we need sun. Yesterday, did you realize that the sun was out actually for a few while? Anybody went to the sunshine and you felt how good that felt? So that's critical for us. In Finland, we have this seasonal affective disorder. So that's when the light goes lower and lower and lower and people get more depressed. And we need light. Every time possible, every time I see a sun, I just run there and I'm sucking and feeling it inside of me. It's just every rays, whatever, UVA, infrared, red, the whole spectrum. I feel good. That's because it releases beta endorphins, the natural feel-good hormones, of course vitamin D, but also sun is very healing. Sun is epigenetic. It is changing the makeup of our genes, putting healing gene sequences on, turning off those that make us sick. Actually, I have some time. If you have questions, I'd rather likely to answer those. Yes, do we have a microphone?
Yes, we do.
Mic. Here?
Over here, in the audience.
Huh?
Thank you for the presentation. I'd like to know about the mat, for the grounding mat for sleeping. What is it? Is it some tool, or can you buy it, or what it is? I have never heard. Thank you.
It's a grounding mat. I actually purchased one maybe 5 years ago, but I realized that I would have to put it straight into the ground. It didn't work if I put it into the electric damping system. But you can actually buy those. I don't remember those places where you can buy those, but definitely if you see, search for a grounding mat. Good question. Anybody else? There's one.
I was wondering, since we have this terrible season now, what do you prefer when we just don't have the sun? What can we do here in Finland?
Yeah, bright lights. So what I would suggest is bright lights, rather like wide spectrum blue light, or rather white light in the morning time, and then slowly into the evening it goes more red. So it's like more this sun's light spectrum. Actually, we have over there. I don't remember the company name, but there are these great big walls that are like resembling the sunshine and all the spectrums that they're over there. Not too direct lights, but of course for making circadian rhythms go on time, you need white light in the morning and red light in the evening. Yeah, there's one. We have 3 minutes. And I don't see anything because of these lights.
Can you get too much of grounding? For example, when you're spending most of your time in city center, then you're using a grounding sheet when you're sleeping, then you're also using grounding pad when working. So can you get too much of grounding? Because I've heard that it also makes you really sensitive to your environment. So like I know grounding when nature is best for sure, but can you get too much of grounding when you're like not in the most ideal environment?
Intuitively, I would say yes. You can get everything too much. And I've heard some of my patients who went like nuts on this grounding, but they were actually starting to feel worse when they were like grounding all the time. So that's even that's not natural. We are not being evolved into grounding all the time, but just variation of different things. So I would do like grounding in the morning. That also resets the biological clocks with the light. So my answer to you is yes. Some more? One? Give that gentleman a mic.
Hi.
Hi.
Am I already grounded when I just take my shoes off, or do I need to be on the field for being grounded?
Can you repeat? Sorry.
Am I already grounded when I just take my shoes off, or do I need to be on the field, on the nature?
Yes, you need to be on the nature, and there are certain surfaces. For example, soil is very good, water is very good, sand is good, grass is good, but not, for example, rocks. They don't conduct electrons, or asphalt.
Okay.
Concrete is in the between, might ground you, but I would recommend you go into grass or sand or just pure soil.
Thank you.
Thanks. I think we are still for one more question. All right, if not,
Here's
thank
one.
you. Oh, is there? Okay.
Hi,
Hello.
sorry. Hi, Mohamed from France. I have a question. What do you think about barefoot shoes?
Yeah, there are actually barefoot shoes in terms of grounding that actually do it. Otherwise, they're good for your natural posture, natural alignment of the foot. So I used to use like these barefoot shoes a lot, and my feet actually winded 1 centimeter. So these shoes I'm having, they're not very comfortable. Feel like my feet is, I want to get out. So that's why, for example, our next presenter is coming here barefoot. But he won't get grounding on this surface.
Thank you.
Thank you for your attention. Go into the nature. Love yourself, your nature.